Alright brothers, Joyboy is a mysterious character who has recently become significant to the story of One Piece, especially after the Wano Arc. Before this, Joyboy was mentioned on Fishman Island through a Poneglyph, and now even in Egghead, Vegapunk has revealed a lot about him. However, we still have very little information about Joyboy. Despite that, Joyboy has become the core focus of the story, having influenced almost every major event for the last 800 years after his death. The impact of the events from the Void Century, in which Joyboy participated, is still being felt. But how did the most powerful and legendary character like Joyboy meet his end? In this video, I will discuss Joyboy's possible life, the reason behind his death, and how Luffy will complete Joyboy's unfinished work. This video is going to be very interesting, so make sure to watch until the end. Let's begin by talking about Joyboy's possible life as the first pirate. As I mentioned, Joyboy became important to the story after the Wano Arc, where one of the main characters was Kozuki Oden. If we carefully look at his life, we can see many similarities between Joyboy and Oden, or rather it seems like Oda Sensei used Oden's life to foreshadow Joyboy's life. I'm confident in saying this because when we talk about Joyboy, he wasn't someone like Kaido, Big Mom, or Rocksteady Sabek who killed and looted people. Instead, he was more like Roger and Luffy, a pirate whose desire was freedom and to act outside the rules of any powerful authority. That's why Joyboy became the first pirate to sail the seas, most likely for the sake of freedom, which is very similar to Oden. Oden lived in Wano, a country that was wealthy and powerful, but also extremely restrictive, as it had no desire to interact with the outside world. This caused Wano's people to remain isolated within the country. However, Oden, who was a mighty warrior and destined to rule Wano one day, felt trapped by Wano's borders and its rules. Despite being Wano's strongest fighter, Oden disregarded the rules and made several attempts to leave Wano. Finally, he succeeded and embarked on a grand adventure to explore the outside world, where he made many friends, becoming the first pirate from Wano. While Oden was away on his adventure, Orochi, along with Kaido and the Beast pirates, took over Wano. When Oden returned, the people were overjoyed to see their ruler, but things didn't go as expected. Oden, along with the 9 Red Scabbards, fought against Orochi and Kaido. Although Oden initially had the upper hand against Kaido, he was ultimately defeated through deception. This led to the downfall of Wano. In the end, when Oden faced death, his will was passed on to the 9 Red Scabbards, who would fight Kaido again 20 years later, and with Luffy's help, defeat him. Perhaps something similar happened with Joyboy. Joyboy was the first pirate to sail the seas, and at that time, no one had sailed before him, otherwise he wouldn't be the first pirate. Like Oden, Joyboy was probably the strongest and most respected person in his kingdom, but in pursuit of his desire, he became a pirate. When Joyboy returned to his ancient kingdom, he fought against the 20 kingdoms, which can be seen as similar to Orochi and Kaido. Joyboy's death marked the fall of the ancient kingdom, just as Oden's death led to the fall of Wano. Just as Oden's will was passed down, so too has Joyboy's will, and as the 9 Red Scabbards failed with Oden, Joyboy's comrades may have also failed him. That's why Meth said, "I'm sorry, Joyboy," and mentioned they couldn't make Joyboy the king. And just like 20 years later, the 9 Red Scabbards, along with Luffy, fulfilled Oden's will by defeating Kaido and Orochi. Similarly, now 800 years later, Luffy will complete the task that Joyboy started. Oda Sensei, through Oden's journey, death, and Kaido's defeat 20 years later, hinted at the return of Joyboy, which has now become a threat to the world government. So how did Joyboy die? 800 years ago, he fought against the 20 kingdoms that opposed him. Although the ancient kingdom was likely very powerful, the 20 kingdoms emerged victorious. The war raised the sea level by 200 meters, and by the end, the ancient kingdom was submerged. As Vegapunk explained, Joyboy died at the end of the war, which marked the conclusion of the Great War. This shows that Joyboy was the most important figure of the time, and his death ended the war. Afterward, the 20 kingdoms formed the world government and moved to live and marry as Joy, changing the world order completely. As for how Joyboy died, no one knows for sure. Perhaps Joyboy chose to die on his own terms, even after losing the war. But before drawing any conclusions, let's clarify a few things. First, the ancient kingdom and Joyboy may have known they were going to lose, which is why they began recording their story on the Poneglyphs, hoping that it would be passed down through generations. This could be seen as a form of will, much like how Oden's will was quickly passed down with the help of Toki, allowing the 9 Red Scabbards to move 20 years into the future. For Joyboy, however, 800 years have passed, and the Poneglyphs seem to be the way his will has been preserved. Secondly, it's possible that there was a traitor among Joyboy's comrades, just like how Kurozumi Kenjiro betrayed Oden and Higurashi cheated, leading to Oden's defeat. Similarly, one of Joyboy's allies might have betrayed him, most likely Imu, who knew Joyboy personally. This is confirmed by Joyboy's haki. While feeling his haki, Imu got orgasm, just like Orochi betrayed Oden and became the ruler of Wano. Imu may have betrayed Joyboy and is now the ruler of the world. Imu might have betrayed Joyboy over the ancient weapons, which the ancient kingdom created but somehow somehow ended up in the hands of the 20 kingdoms. We already know that Emu possesses one of the ancient weapons, Uranus, to use it. Certain special items like the Mother Flame are required, and it must be deployed in a precise manner to cause widespread destruction. It's possible that the 20 kingdoms used this ancient weapon to destroy the ancient kingdom, raising the sea level and submerging it. Without the weapon, defeating the ancient kingdom would have been incredibly difficult. During the Void Century, many wars occurred, destroying numerous towns, countries, and islands, including Shandora, which had a connection to Joyboy because the Poneglyphs were there. The reason I bring up Shandora is that it was linked to Joyboy, and despite having the ancient weapon, defeating Joyboy might not have been easy. The 20 kingdoms likely used the weapon to eliminate Joyboy's allies. As I mentioned earlier, the world government systematically eradicated all those connected to Joyboy, including the Buccaneers, Lunarians, and the city of Shandora. It's likely that during that time, the 20 kingdoms began exterminating Joyboy's allies, leaving him helpless. Knowing that his death would bring an end to the war, Joyboy accepted his fate and left the responsibility to future generations. Surprisingly, Joyboy knew that he would return one day, and that another great war would erupt in the future. He was also aware that the ancient weapons would be reincarnated, as one of them, Poseidon, has already been reborn. This indicates that Joyboy had a purpose behind everything he did, and his death was not accidental. It was all part of a plan. Joyboy even knew when the next Joyboy would appear, when the mermaid princess would be reborn, and when the Great War would happen again. This has been confirmed by several characters in the story, including Toki, Roger, and Oden. When Roger and Oden reached Laugh-Tale, they read Joyboy's final message in Treasure. They came to the conclusion that they had arrived too early, and they weren't the ones who would change the world. They realized that someone else would have to take on that role in the future. Joyboy's final errand is incredibly important to the story. Even Emeth used Joyboy's haki, which Joyboy had saved for a major future event. However, it was used against 5 elders. All of this shows that Joyboy foresaw everything, and now the time has come for his legacy to be fulfilled, just as Roger willingly handed himself over to the Marines and accepted his execution to bring an end to his era. Joyboy likely did the same, bringing an end to the Void Century. And now the thing is that even though Joyboy was extremely powerful, he still lost. So how will Luffy complete his task? The thing is, Luffy has Joyboy's devil fruit, the Hito Hito no Mai, Model Nika, which gives him powers like Joyboy. Also in One Piece, no single character, no matter how powerful, has real power without their companions. Even though Joyboy was very powerful, his crewmates or companions were not on his level, nor were they at the level of the 20 kingdoms. This was the same with Oden as well. Oden was stronger than Kaido, but the 9 red scabbards were not at Kaido's level. On top of that, Oden was also deceived during his fight with Kaido. Now when we look at Luffy, his real strength isn't his devil fruit or his haki. Without his crewmates, Luffy is nothing. The betrayal that happened to Joyboy and Oden won't happen to Luffy. In the future, not only will Luffy become stronger, but so will his crewmates. No one can fight a war alone. They need allies. Just like Joyboy had companions that the world government wiped out, Luffy now also has companions who will stand by him in the final war. Throughout Luffy's journey so far, nothing suggests that he will be betrayed, especially by his crewmates. Though anything can happen, I believe that Luffy's fate won't be the same as Joyboy's or Oden's. In the end, Emu will be defeated, and Luffy will complete Joyboy's unfinished work. Along with becoming the Pirate King, Luffy will also become the king of the world. So brothers, that's the end of the video. How did you like it? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.